Welcome to the Surrey Experience.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to, what episode are we on? 42. Welcome to the 42nd episode of the Surrey Experience. How you guys doing? I hope you guys all had a great weekend. I don't really care about you guys' weekend. I'm just trying to segue into my weekend, if I'm being totally honest. I had an action-packed weekend last week, and I had a Lordy party on the Friday, and my buddy brought the good scotch, which is really rare at a hall party. But yeah, anyways, I got pretty shit-faced that night. And normally when I drink, I usually pound back a couple beers first. And then I make the switch around like 9:30, 10-ish. But it had been so long since the whole team was together that we got a little carried away. And I started pounding double scotch on the rocks right out of the gate. But it was a great party. The hangover wasn't too bad on the scotch. So I'm glad I made the switch from Crown Royal and Coke to Scotch permanent. And then on the Saturday night, I had this little industry party thing to go to. It wasn't really a party. It was more like a dinner with all these people in the film industry. And anyone who knows me knows, like, my biggest fear in life is being the only brown guy at the table. You know how people are scared of fucking small spaces or like spiders, arachnophobia, claustrophobia, whatever the fuck you call it. My phobia is being the only desi at the table. And I've never really had to be the only brown guy at the table before. That's how spoiled I've been, like, living in Surrey, you know. No matter what the situation is, there's always at least, like, one dip minimum at the table. But yeah, I was the only brown guy at this fucking thing. And there was a bunch of, like, Asian dudes, a bunch of white dudes, a couple black dudes, a couple white ladies, and my desi ass sitting in the corner. And the worst part about it was I couldn't even have a couple drinks to, like, loosen up because I was driving and it was Saturday night, so there was like fucking roadblocks everywhere. So I had to like nurse a beer the whole fucking time, you know? And it was like this dinner where I can't remember the name of it, but essentially I think it's like an Asian thing, right? They put like 3 pots in the middle of like a table and they were like set to boil, and you pick some food out of the middle and you put it in the boil, and once it's made, you take it out and eat it. And yeah, I've never even fucking heard of that before. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm used to like fucking ordering pizza and dipping it in ranch, you know? And of course, I'm the only fucking idiot at the table that didn't know how to use chopsticks, right? Because I'm a fucking immigrant. So I was the only person at the table using a fork. And dude, I'm such an idiot. My partner, right? The guy who set the fucking dinner thing up, he was like, hey, Verinder, do you have any restrictions or allergies we should know about? Like, are you okay with eating pork and beef? And then in front of everyone, I got up. I was like, nah, dude, I'm an animal. I'll eat anything. And the whole table fucking looked at me like I was a moron. But I didn't really eat much. I put a couple of these round things in the pot and I ate them. And I honestly have no idea what the fuck they were. I just pretended I was full, and then I scarfed down a couple cheeseburgers on the ride home. But the dinner actually went really well. I made a bunch of connections. That was the whole point of going, was to like network and shit. And I met a couple white dudes, and they kept asking me about like Punjabi music videos and like the ridiculous amounts of hits they get on YouTube. They kept asking me like who the best Punjabi artists are and shit like that, right? It was basically 2 hours of me hyping Sidhu Moosewala and DJ Intense. But yeah, it's good to face your fears once in a while, man. Being the only brown guy at the table, it wasn't so bad after all. And then on Sunday, I watched football all day, which was fucking awesome. I can't believe the fucking season's almost over. But I'm pumped for the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Patriots versus the Eagles, and I can't fucking wait, man. I'm rooting for the Patriots. I'm not really a big Patriots fan, but one of my best friends is a diehard Eagles fan, so I'm really hoping the Patriots destroy them, which sounds kind of fucked up when you say it out loud, but if you're a real sports fan, you'll get it. I've been talking shit to this guy the whole playoff of how the Eagles suck and they're not going to do shit, so if they won the Super Bowl, I would never fucking hear the end of it. But yeah, that was my weekend in a nutshell. Didn't they have like another march on the fucking weekend, like a women's march or something? To all the chicks that were marching, can I ask you guys a question? I was watching SportsCenter last night, Anyone else notice all the fucking broadcasters now are women? Right? Back in my day, a man always told you what the fucking scores were for the night. But now it's all women. Like, all those men lost their jobs. How come no one's fucking marching for them, you know? Isn't that what all these fucking broads are complaining about? That men get all the jobs? Well, when it comes to highlights on SportsCenter, it's the fucking exact opposite. I should do that. I should set up a march, right, to like TSN headquarters and demand that at least one man be on the broadcast team. I don't know. You know what's hilarious? Some of these broads at the fucking march actually think that Oprah's going to run for president in 2020 because she made that fucking speech at the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever the fuck it was, right? I fucking promise you, there's no chance in hell Oprah will ever run for president. No chance. You know how much dirt that chick has on her? The second she says she's going to run, all the fucked up shit she's done in life is going to come to the forefront. And there's no chance she's going to let that happen. There's no way, man. Right after she made that speech, the internet was like flooded with pictures of like Oprah fucking making out with Harvey Weinstein. All these celebrities came out and said like Oprah knew about Harvey Weinstein's like serial rapage. Right? Like that one fucking black dude, that singer from the 90s. He had the song on the Space Jam soundtrack. Fuck, what's his name, dude? Hold up, I gotta look this up or else it's gonna kill me. Okay. Singer says Oprah hypocrite. Seal labels Oprah a hypocrite. Seal, that's his fucking name. What was his song on Space Jam? Hold on, fuck. Let me look it up. I gotta look this up or it's gonna fucking bother me all day. Seal Space Jam. Fly Like an Eagle. Fucking hit, dude. If you haven't heard Fly Like an Eagle, it's a fucking great song, right? But yeah, what the fuck was I talking about? Yeah, there's no chance Oprah runs for president, all right? Not that it would make a fucking difference anyway, you know, because the president has no fucking power. Let's say by some miracle Oprah did run and won the presidency. You think she's going to be able to, like, tell the Rothschilds not to invade North Korea? You know? It's all bullshit, man. I don't know. Maybe I should change the subject. Last time I talked about the Women's March, I got in so much shit, so. And by shit, I mean I got bombarded by all these fucking feminists and their stupid ass emails. But what else is going on in the news? Aziz Ansari is like the latest guy to get accused of sexual assault. I heard his wasn't even that bad though. Like the girl went back to his room consensually, but he was being like a fucking pervert. Should we dive in deeper? I know this is a really sensitive topic, but fuck it. Let's do it. Let's see what happened with Aziz Ansari. Okay. Aziz Ansari's sexual misconduct. Okay. Let's see. I went on a date with Aziz Ansari. It turned out to be the worst night of my life. Babe.net. Okay, let's check this out. All right. Okay, Grace is a 23-year-old Brooklyn-based photographer, then age 22. So she was 22 when the alleged sexual assault happened. Okay. We are not using her real name to protect her identity because she is not a public figure. She says Ansari brushed her off at first, but after he realized they both brought the same kind of camera to the event, an old model from the 1980s, he was impressed. They flirted a little. He took a couple pictures of her. She snapped some of him. And then she and her date went back to the dance floor. It was like one of those things when you were aware of the person all night, she said. We would catch eyes every now and then. All right. Seems innocent enough. Okay, they ran into each other one last time right as Grace was leaving. At Ansari's suggestion, she put her number in his phone. Okay, so far so good. When her plane landed back in New York the next day, she already had a message from him. Fucking eager little bastard, this guy. They exchanged flirtatious banter over text for a week or so before he asked her to go out with him on Monday, September 25th. Okay, so the stage is set. Let's see what happened. After arriving at his apartment in Manhattan on Monday evening, they exchanged small talk and drank wine. It was white wine, she said. I didn't get to choose and I prefer red wine, but it was white wine. This chick's complaining about the color of her fucking wine that she gets to drink for free. You know, I know that has nothing to do with sex, but this chick's coming off as like an ungrateful bastard. Then Ansari walked her to the Grand Banks, an oyster bar on board a historic wooden schooner on Hudson River just a few blocks away. She said it was a beautiful, warm September night. They discussed New York University, comedy, and a new secret project he was working on, but she says she did most of the talking. Alright, that seems pretty normal so far. Grace says she sensed Ansari was eager for them to leave. When the waiter came over, he quickly asked for the check and said, "Let's get off this boat." She recalls there was still wine in her glass and more left in the bottle he ordered. Damn, this guy doesn't fuck around. The abruptness surprised her. Like, he got the check and it was like, bada boom, bada bing, and we're out of here. They walked the 2 blocks back to his apartment building, an exclusive address on Tribeca's Franklin Street, where Taylor Swift has a place too. When they walked back in, she complimented his marble countertops. According to Grace, Ansari turned the compliment into an invitation. He said something along the lines of, "How about you hop on and take a seat?" Within minutes, he was kissing her. In a second, his hands were on my breasts. Then he was undressing her. Then he undressed himself. She remembers feeling uncomfortable at how quickly things escalated. Holy fuck. When Ansari told her he was going to grab a condom within minutes of their first kiss, Grace voiced her hesitation explicitly. I said something like, whoa, let's relax for a second. I don't know why I found this funny. She says he then resumed kissing her, briefly performed oral sex on her, and asked her to do the same thing to him. She did, but not for long. It was really quick. Everything was pretty much touched and done within 10 minutes of hooking up, except for actual sex. Holy fuck, dude. Well, he is a pretty busy guy, you know? Maybe he had like a fucking plane to catch in the morning or something. So basically, he's being super aggressive, but everything so far seems consensual. This is the vibe I'm getting. Okay, let's see what happens next. She says Ansari began making a move on her that he repeated during their encounter. The move he kept doing was taking his 2 fingers in a V shape and putting them in my mouth, in my throat, to wet his fingers, because the moment he'd stick his fingers in my throat, he'd go straight to my vagina and try to finger me. Good lord. Grace called the move the claw. Jesus Christ, Aziz. Alright, that's pretty fucking gross. It's getting hard to defend this guy right now. Ansari also physically pulled her hand towards his penis multiple times throughout the night. From the time he first kissed her on the countertop onward. He probably moved my hand to his penis 5 to 7 times, she said. He really kept doing it after I moved it away. Fucking relentless little bastard, this guy. 5 to 7 times. Okay, that's kind of fucked up too. Not looking good, Aziz. But the main thing that he wouldn't let her move away from him. She compared the path they cut across his apartment to a football play. It was 30 minutes of me getting up and moving away from him, and him following and sticking his fingers down my throat again. It was really repetitive. It felt like a fucking game. What's with this guy and the fucking sticking his fingers down her throat thing? That's pretty fucking creepy, dude. Alright, throughout the course of her short time in the apartment, she says she used verbal and non-verbal cues to indicate how comfortable and distressed she was. The fuck is a non-verbal cue? Most of my discomfort was expressed in me pulling away and mumbling. I know that my hand stopped moving at some point, she said. I stopped moving my lips and turned cold. Whether Ansari didn't notice Grace's reticence, I don't know what that fucking word is, or knowingly ignored it is impossible for her to say. I know I was physically giving off cues that I wasn't interested. I don't think that was noticed at all, or if it was ignored. I don't get what the fuck a nonverbal cue is. Like, why didn't she just tell him to fuck off, you know? Why the fuck would you use a nonverbal cue? Ansari wanting to have sex. Yeah, no shit. She remembers him asking again and again, "Where do you want me to fuck you?" Wow. While she was still seated on the countertop. She says she found the question tough to answer because she did not want to fuck him at all. I wasn't really thinking of that. I don't want to be engaged in that with him. But he kept asking, so I said next time. And he goes, "Oh, you mean a second date?" And I go, "Oh yeah, sure." And he goes, "Well, if I poured you a glass of wine now, would it count as our second date?" Wow. He then poured her a glass and handed it to her. Yeah, this guy's fucked. She excused herself to the bathroom soon after. Grace says she spent around 5 minutes in the bathroom, collecting herself in the mirror and splashing herself with water. Then she went back to Ansari. He asked her if she was okay. I said, "I don't want to feel forced because then I'll hate you, and I'd rather not hate you," she said. She told Babe that at first she was happy with how he reacted. He said, "Oh, of course, it's only fun if we're both having fun. The response was technically very sweet in acknowledging the fact that I was very uncomfortable. Smart move, Aziz. Settle it down a bit, alright? Time to turn the ship around here. Verbally in that moment, he acknowledged that he needed to take it slow. Then he said, let's just chill here over on the couch. That moment was in particular significant for Grace because she thought that would be the end of the sexual encounter. Her remark about not wanting to feel forced had added a verbal component to the cues she was trying to give him about her discomfort. When she sat down on the floor next to Ansari, who sat on the couch, she thought he might rub her back or play with her hair, something to calm her down. Ansari instructed her to turn around. He sat back and pointed to his penis and motioned for her to go down on him. Oh no, Aziz, what are you doing? What the fuck? Alright. And then I did. Okay, so she blew him again? What the fuck? I think I just really felt pressured. It was literally the most unexpected thing I thought would happen at that moment because I told him I was uncomfortable. Good lord, dude. I mean, why would she blow him again, though, if she's so fucking uncomfortable? Just get up and fucking leave. How hard is it? Soon he pulled her back up onto the couch. She would tell her friend via text later that night. He had made out with me again and said, doesn't look like you hate me after all. Halfway into the encounter, he led her from the couch to a different part of his apartment. He said he had to show her something. Then he brought her to a large mirror, bent her over, and asked her again, where do you want me to fuck you? Do you want me to fuck you right here? He rammed his penis against her ass while he said it. Phantoming intercourse. Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. I just remember looking in the mirror and seeing him behind me. He was very much caught up in the moment, and I obviously very much wasn't, Grace said. After he bent me over is when I stood up and said, no, I don't think I'm ready to do this. I really don't think I'm going to do this. And he said, how about we just chill, but this time with our clothes on? Just fucking leave, you stupid... Ugh. Anyways, carrying on. They got dressed, sat side by side on the couch they already chilled on, and he turned on an episode of Seinfeld. She'd never seen it before. How the fuck have you not seen Seinfeld? She said that's when the reality of what was going on sank in. It really hit me that I was violated. I felt really emotional all at once when we sat down there. That whole experience was actually horrible. While the TV played in the background, he kissed her again, stuck his fingers down her throat again, and moved to undo her pants. Holy fuck. Dude, to any of my little brothers listening to this podcast, never ever stick your fingers down a girl's throat, okay? Life is not a fucking porno. Alright, she turned away. She remembers feeling in a different mindset at that point. I remember saying, you guys are all the same. You guys are all the fucking same. Ansari asked her what she meant. When she turned to answer, she says she was met with a forceful kiss. Jesus Christ, dude. After that last kiss, Grace stood up from the couch, moved back to the kitchen island where she left her phone, and she said she'd be calling herself a car. He hugged her and kissed her goodbye. Another aggressive kiss. Fucking guy, dude. When she pulled away, Ansari finally relented and insisted he'd call her the car. He said it's coming, but just tell them your name is Essence, she said. A name he has joked about using as a pseudonym in a sitcom. She teared up in the hallway outside his place, pressing the down button in the elevator. The Uber was waiting when she left the building. He asked her if she was Essence, and she said yes. Then she rode back to her Brooklyn apartment. I cried the whole time. At this point, I felt violated. The last hour was so out of my hands. No, it wasn't out of your hands, because you could have just fucking got up and left, dude. Alright? Instead of fucking leaving, you just stayed there and you kept blowing the guy, you stupid fucking gunjity. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck was it out of your hands? Listen, I definitely think Aziz Ansari is a piece of shit after reading this. There's no way I can defend him. I'm not defending him here for his actions. But I can't sit here and pretend like this chick's not a fucking bandri, alright? She obviously knew what was going to happen. Like, she consensually went back to his apartment. I mean, what do you think he wants to do with you there? Like, make fucking pancakes? Jesus Christ, dude. Just get up and fucking leave. It's Aziz Ansari. Like, what the fuck is he going to do? If you're in the room with Suge Knight, I get it. But this is Aziz Ansari. The guy's like a fucking dunda. I don't know, man. Listen, Aziz was definitely in the wrong here. But I don't think he's like a rapist. He's just a fucking nerd with no game, you know? if I could play detective here for a second, I bet you this is what happened. I bet you Aziz Ansari was coked out, right? He was probably like hitting rippers all day. And that's why he got so aggressive and like hurried. If I had to guess, I don't know. He's definitely fucked up for doing that, but this chick's still a Bondry though. If Aziz just had like a little bit more game, she would have banged him like 100%. That's why she fucking went there. He just went about it the most fucked up way possible. I don't know, man. To all my little sisters listening to this, if you're ever in a situation like this where a guy's coming onto you and you don't feel comfortable, don't give nonverbal cues, all right? Be as verbal as fucking possible. If a guy comes onto you and it's making you uncomfortable, be like, hey, fuckhead, I'm not interested. Get the fuck away from me. Now, if he comes onto you again after that, be like, hey, if you come onto me one more time, I'm going to like call my older brother or something. Or I'm going to call the police. Actually, use the police. Say, I'm going to call the police. Now, if he doesn't stop after that, then you put him all blast all over the media, all right? But yeah, I get it. Men can be creeps, but be as verbal as possible and leave. And you probably won't find yourself in that type of predicament, all right? And to all my little brothers listening to this, if you're going to take a girl back to your house, just make sure she's 100% comfortable with it before you do, all right? I know it takes out the like spontaneity of it, but it'll save everyone a lot of grief. Just be a fucking gentleman, all right? I don't really have to tell Surrey guys that, because Surrey guys, we got game for days, because we're born with the handicap, right? The media's brainwashed everyone into thinking we're all drug dealers and fucking killers and shit. So we have to be like super gentlemanly from the jump. But yeah, after reading this, I definitely think Aziz Ansari is a piece of shit for what he did. But I don't think he raped this girl. He's just a nerd with no game. And now his career is going to take a major hit because of it. But this chick's no fucking angel either, you know? I mean, just fucking get up, use your legs, get up, walk to the door, and fucking leave. It's not rocket science. And I know I'm going to get a bunch of shit for saying that, but that's the good thing about no one knowing who the fuck I am. You can give your 100% honest opinion on things. Speaking of 100% honest, let's get to the questions for the week, ladies and gentlemen. You like that segue? Huh? All right. If you guys are new to my podcast, I have a segment in my show where people send in their questions and I give them advice and try to help them out. But quick disclaimer, I'm a fucking moron. I'm the last person anyone should be taking advice from. All right. So send in those questions to thesurreyexperience@gmail.com. And here, I'll pull up the first question. All right. Relationship help. Hey, I need your help with something. Me and my boyfriend have been dating for over a year, but we are on a break right now. My boyfriend follows all these girls on social media and he likes all their pictures. Some girls are just normal girls, but then there are other girls who are those girls with the big butts on Instagram. It's really embarrassing because everyone I know sees all the disgusting pictures he likes, including members of my family. This also makes me feel very insecure. I brought this up to him, but he shut me down and told me I was being crazy. We're not talking right now because of this. Am I overreacting and being crazy? I don't think I am, and even my girlfriends think it's messed up he does it. I need a guy's opinion. Please help. Okay, well, first off, I don't think you should be insecure. I mean, men are just like really visual. God, it's getting hard to defend men after that Aziz Ansari article. Fuck it, why am I beating around the bush? If we see a hot chick, we're gonna look, all right? It's built into our DNA, be it in person or on TV or in this case, social media. But I don't think you're being crazy. Like, if he sees a hot chick's picture on Instagram, I don't think there's anything wrong with him looking at it, but he shouldn't be liking them, you know? Because if your family can see him liking a picture of like a chick in her thong, I mean, that's kind of fucked up. So I would just talk to him. Just be straight up. Use your words, all right? Don't use nonverbal cues like the stupid broad from Aziz's apartment. Be like, hey, I don't care if your perverted ass wants to look at chicks with big asses on Instagram. Just don't follow them and don't like their pictures, you disgusting fuck, all right? Imagine I started liking pictures of half-naked men with six packs and your family saw it. Like, how would that make you feel? You got to make it hit home for him. You got to like put him in your shoes kind of. And if you can't respect that, then you should probably get rid of him, all right? So yeah, I would just talk to him and be upfront. Don't use nonverbal cues. Be as verbal as fucking possible, all right? All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, my cousin cheated. I hope this cousin isn't a man. My cousin and my friend have been dating each other for 8 months. They are both 19. Long story short, my cousin ended up cheating on her with another girl while he was gone out of town. And he ended things with her after that. Jesus Christ. Fellas, can you just keep it in your pants for the rest of the episode? All right. He ended things with her after that. But my friend doesn't know that he cheated. She is still very attached to him because he was her first love. She is a super sweet girl, doesn't drink or smoke, and she always focused on school. I don't like getting involved in my cousin's love life, but I do see my friend often, and every time I see her, I feel guilty that she doesn't know, but I don't want to break her heart. Should I tell her that he did it, or should I just leave it alone? I wanted to ask you because I know you give the realest advice. P.S. I love your podcast. Okay. Damn, that's a tough one. I mean, I understand she's your friend and everything, but what's the average shelf life of a female friendship, you know? Like, are you guys really going to be friends forever? That's like highly unlikely. You're going to be related to your cousin forever. So, I don't know, man. And it's not like they're still together, so I don't think it really matters. Say you do tell her, like, what's it going to accomplish, you know? So I would probably just leave it. I mean, why add more tension to your life for no reason? Just stay out of it. That would be my honest advice. It's not worth it. If they're ever about to get back together or something, that would be the only time I would think about saying something. And even then, I would still stay out of it. So, I don't know, man. That's a really tough one. And I don't know. That was probably fucking bad advice. This whole Aziz Ansari thing really fucked me up. Men are really coming off as animals this week. So, okay. I'm just going to move on to the next one. All right. Question for the podcast. I am 15 and I am from Burnaby. There is a guy in my grade who likes me, but I don't like him. Holy shit, dude. Is every guy on like Viagra or something? Jesus fuck. Is the government putting Viagra in the water? Okay, sorry. All right, there's a guy in my grade who likes me, but I don't like him. There are only like 12 brown kids in my grade, and more than half are girls and are all whitewashed. I'm pretty dissy, and I want a Surrey Jack type of guy, but the guy that likes me is not a Jack at all. I don't know what to do. He told all his friends he likes me. He keeps staring at me and tries to talk, but I always just make up an excuse to get away from him. Should I confront him? What should I do? I don't want to break his heart. By the way, I love your podcast and your voice is really hot. Thank you. Holy crap, man. Every question this week has been about like a man doing something perverted to a woman. All right, sweetheart, this is what you do, okay? Be like, hey, I'm not interested in you. Don't send him any nonverbal cues. Be as verbal as fucking possible. Be like, hey, I'm not interested in you. You're not my type. Don't worry about hurting his feelings, all right? You should tell him you're fucking 15 years old, and not only are you too young to be dating, you're also too young to be listening to this fucking podcast. All right? That's what I do. So just tell him as matter-of-factly as possible. No, not interested. Please fuck off. Okay? I'm going to do one more question, and I pray to the gods. It's not about a man trying to bang an uninterested woman. Okay, here we go. Latest podcast. Hey, bro, just listen to your latest podcast. I just got a ticket last week, and I almost spat my drink out when you said you hope the cop got shot on duty. Fucking awesome. For the guy who wants to quit smoking, tell him to go to any pharmacy and to tell them he wants to quit. There's a government-funded program that will cover patches of gum for him for 3 months out of the year. I work in pharmacy, that's how I know. And I figured since you grew up in Surrey, I'm from Abbey but now live here, that you'll know a shit ton of people. I just bought a house and it was the most stressful time of my fucking life. I was wondering if you know anyone who'd want to rent a townhouse out in Guildford. If you do, it'd be a huge fucking help if you could pass them my email or something. Bro, I could really use it. Sorry for the lengthy email. Don't be sorry, bro. This is my favorite email of the week. You're restoring my faith in humanity. Hope your year started out wicked and keep doing what you're doing. Cheers, bro. Yeah, you guys see that? Not all guys are fucking perverts, all right? Look at this guy. He's trying to help people quit smoking. He's got his own townhouse. I don't know this guy personally, but I'd be willing to bet my life he'd never stick his fingers down a chick's throat. Thank you, bro. Thank you for that amazing email. All right. And if the guy who's emailed me last week about quitting smoking is listening to this, do what this beautiful man just suggested, okay? And if there's anyone listening to this looking to rent a townhouse in Guildford, then email me and I'll pass you this wonderful man's email, all right? That last question really saved our asses there. But yeah, that's going to do it for the podcast. I just wanted to touch base real quick and bang out an episode before people on the internet start giving me shit for not doing them as much. And yeah, to all my little sisters listening to this, be as verbal as possible. Communicate. Use your voice. God gave it to you for a reason, all right? And to all my little brothers, be as gentlemanly as possible. Women are not objects. Treat them with respect. Don't stick your fingers down their throats, all right? This is the Surrey Experience, episode 42, and I'll talk to you guys in a week or two.